just going into a shop here, and Aiden's going to buy some stuff.
This is something we haven't seen anything of before, and I'm probably unusually excited because obviously it's a little bit of an unusual concept with so many different elements to it. Is there anything that it particularly reminded you of, or is there anything you think it resembles?
Well, this bit here we can see Aiden going into one of the CTOS headquarters, which act a little bit like the outposts in Far Cry.
Right. Do you know what that stands for?
Because Chicago, where this is based, is such a technologically advanced city, like in real life.
Next gen. I want wind in trees.
They were saying that that's basically what PS4 and the next gen technology allows to give them in Watch Dogs. Like the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions will be at its core the same game, and everything will work and it will have the same feature sets almost and things. But the PS4 next gen version gives them the opportunity to add layers of physics and things that they just can't do at the moment. So we saw a tech demo of the wind blowing across different streets, and on current gen it's just like certain directions. It goes in like 8 different directions, and on next gen it can dynamically sweep around cars and around buildings and things, and you can see it circling around stuff.
Amazing. You heard it here first. Next gen is dynamic swirling wind.
That and water. The water looked very impressive as well, and obviously the water will react to the wind as well, so you get really choppy water boat sections and stuff if it's stormy.
I sound like I'm being flippant about that. That is amazing.
Like, it really is, and it really did look very impressive. There's loads of things that happen in the streets, like just things fluttering around and dust going across the pavement and things like that, and it really adds to you being immersed in the city. Yeah. So we can see him still going into this complex here, and all of these animations are contextual, so you don't have to press any buttons. He will move and duck and go into cover when you expect him to. Yeah. So I think that's a nice new next gen thing as well. Like, it looks
it's very seamless, isn't it? That kind of transition from like corner cover to the camera to going back to it. It sort of snaps instantly.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like it's like. I mean, I don't know how, in gameplay terms, that will feel like to play, but it certainly looked like it was a very smooth and easy process to.
Really does, through. Yeah. I love the sort of the wireframes that it's projecting over the world as well. That doesn't seem at all intrusive to me. It feels like it really fits.
Yeah, I think it's just subtle enough to give you a hint that you can do stuff. I mean, I would assume that you don't have to use any of that if you don't want to. And there we can just see him using what they're calling focus.
Bullet time.
Which is, their version of bullet time, which you get for... You've got like a bar. I don't know how long that bar will last. Right. But you do get a bar of focus that you can use for shooting or driving or doing anything like that.
Presumably refill it by taking people out silently or something like that.
Possibly, or it just comes up over time. Right. I would have thought, but they wanted to put it in there not so it was a thing that you'd use in combat, but for something that gave you the sense of that you were this person that could hack into stuff and sort of predict what was going to happen. Yeah. So it's more of a feature to use when you're giving chase to someone, and like we've seen in the previous videos when you're chasing that guy down the alleyway and he blows up that fuse box. Yeah. It's more to use it in situations like that rather than to like slow down a massive gunfight.
Okay, so you can sort of weigh up all your options.
Yeah, exactly. To see what's in the environment around you and use that.
Like, this is the way you should be going. Do you think there's going to be numerous ways through? Are you going to be able to go in all guns blazing, or are you going to be encouraged to take the sort of the cleverest path?
I think what they'd want would be everyone to play it in the way that they wanted to play it. Like I think the world will hold up to you playing it however you want. There's probably, I mean, as with all these things, like, and as we saw in Far Cry, there's really, I mean, there's 2 ways in. There's stealth. Yeah. But if you don't do that, then obviously the police turn up and you've got like a heat level and you have to get away from the cops, and that kind of stuff's really nice, being able to like stop people in the world, pointing you out and stuff. Like we can see here, if you do take control of a security camera and these guys don't like it, they can just stop you.
Good shot.
Well, yeah, that is pretty good, from a tiny rock as well. But yeah, so you have to be quite careful about where you're activating things and what you're doing and stuff. We can see here, as we've all got at home, turning on someone's Wi-Fi hotspot.
Is that why my internet goes off? Because Aiden Pearce has turned off my router?
Possibly, yeah. Well, he's just gained access to it now, and we'll see. This is how you sort of looking interiors of buildings without going into them.
Right.
So you can turn on a load of Wi-Fi hotspots and then use a device in that house to have a look inside. Like this guy, he can go in, and because the guy's got like a computer and cameras, and everyone's got loads of devices in the house. Huge city, and to have it all as detailed as we can see is quite an achievement, really.
Yeah.
I think this is an example here of the more sort of moral aspects of the game, that you're going to have a choice whether to intervene in side missions or not.
Okay.
I should point out that all of the things we're saying here, all of the things we saw in the demo, which is like an extended version of this whole sequence, these aren't missions, these are just dynamic events.
Okay.
These things will just happen, and if you're there, then you're there, and if you're not, then fine.
So they're going to potentially be happening while you're not there. I mean, with that in mind, again, do you think that I can't see there's going to be any kind of like red-blue bar of kind of good and bad with morality, but is it just a case that you can intervene if you want to and there are no major consequences for you as a character, or have you not got a sense of that yet?
I've got things like, we saw a thing and it was frequent online purchase porn was one of the things. Refuses
nightmare vision of the future that people can know.
Yeah, refuses to recycle, pigeon fancier, celebrity autograph collector, car enthusiast.
Pigeon fancier?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, when you keep pigeons.
Oh, right, okay.
Not like...
right, okay, not in the mannequin way.
No.
Right.
No, it doesn't... Well, I'm sure if you're keeping pigeons, you do love them a bit, but in a
platonic way.
Yeah.
Like you're just good friends.
But there are loads of those different things, like motivational speaker and that kind of stuff. And all of that gives you, in a weird way, like an instant...
Yeah.
Sort of, you make an assumption of that person based on that tiny bit of information,
and they're obviously giving you stuff that really, that cleverly makes you sort of fill in the gaps yourself, which is pretty incredible to us, and something I'm sort of amazed that no one's been clever enough to think of already. But it does sound like it really sort of builds up the world that already exists. Yeah,
and if we carry on here, we can see Aidan going to purchase some of the weapons, and in the background here, if you don't stop, if you don't take care and keep yourself hidden when crimes are happening, eventually people do spot you and the police will catch up with you.
Yeah.
And we'll see here. I mean, this was a thing that it turns out that they figured out that you've been going around killing people, and you see the man reaching for the alarm button there, very subtly.
Nice.
And then so that's it. And then the police are called, and you have to. Here we can see the rain.
Wow, that is amazing.
Really good. I know the cars react to the rain as well.
Yeah, you can see they look slick.
Like that.
I have to say, we're probably going to have missed it now, but the T-shirt that the guy in the gun shop was wearing was amazing. It was the Wolf Howling at the Moon T-shirt.
Yeah, it was.
It looks just absolutely rife with tiny little details that make things special, and I might get lambasted for saying it, but this world excites me as much, if not more, as the GTA 5 world.
Yeah, I mean, it does really look very impressive, and you can see here, more cameras, the easier they're going to be able to spot you.
Okay.
So you have to sort of get away, and like we can see here, he's opened up, he's gone inside a garage, you shut the garage door behind you, and the cops are like, well, I don't know where he's gone.
Yeah, so you switch car and...
Yeah, or dump the car and then get up onto the roof and evade the police. And it's going to be more... Like, you can obviously get away, but I think it's going to be better.